What's good with you people? It's your boy, Johnny Mac, and it's another issue of my Quarantine and Chill podcast, part of the Johnny Mac Show. Um, this is, I kind of been sitting back watching, and I was watching, the stuff, I mean, because ain't nothing on, no sports on, ain't nothing, So, after looking through YouTubes and watching a bunch of stuff with, I'm a kid and all that. I was taking a look at that, I guess the hearing on the House or whatever, and just looking at watching them bicker back and forth and just thinking like, man, these people just really playing with the peasants. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's just what I think. I just think it looked like y'all just playing with the peasants. So I want to talk about that because what I also seen today, kind of scrolling through the internet, I don't know if a lot of you guys took a look at it. Um, there's a That was a grocery store in Mexico. I guess like a super center, almost kind of like a Walmart type of thing, and and the people were getting upset. They were getting upset. They weren't having no food and no whatever, and man, they pretty much bomb rushed the place. I mean, it lasted almost 8 hours. Somebody, had it on Facebook and played it for almost 8 hours. So I got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. I got my hometown Memphis on lockdown right now. On shutdown. It started Tuesday night, which is tonight. I think 6 p.m. for them, and it lasts to like 5 in the morning or something like that. I'll check that in a second here. And then looking at the look like the disappointment. A lot of Floridians are saying that they feeling from this governor, the current governor right now. Look like he in the hot seat. He was in the hot seat last week with the spring breakers, with him allowing the spring break and everything to take place the way he did, and really not enforcing anything. Then he turned around and he's been allowing New Yorkers to come in. And now, according to him, these New Yorkers were going to get quarantined and blah, 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 blah. Well, there's photos and things I've seen on Facebook, even just from the Orlando airport, that show that that's not so. So without further ado, let's get the party started. It's your boy, Johnny Mac.
Honey,
Yes, dear.
could you please pass me the Grey Poupon?
Is it that time again?
Yes, it's time for the Johnny Mac Show. Officially launched in 2018, the Johnny Mac Show follows trending topics that are molding both the American and global societies together. We thank you for tuning in as usual, as the topics brought to you today are what you care about the most. Be sure to subscribe on the Johnny Mac Spreaker Show and check your local times and listings on iHeartRadio. And now, without any further ado, we bring you the man himself. Here's Johnny Mac.
Yo, man. Crazy, ain't it? Just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy how everything done flipped, man. Shouts out to all my parents and families at home during the quarantine. Single parent families, multi families, whatever it is, we're figuring our way through it, and we're gonna get through this thing. This ain't the end. I told y'all this week I am going to this week I'm gonna be jamming that new track, man, featuring Project Pat and Fiend. We're gonna get into that. I might even get into a little bit more music later. I think I got a couple of things up in the chamber from a couple of partners of mine. And if you want to hear your music and want to hear your music played on the Johnny Mac Show, all you got to do is just email me at macworld, MACKWORLD 2020 at gmail.com. That's all you got to do. Just do that for me. Let me hear it. Let me see what you got, and we'll check you out. So yeah, man. Speaking of the Memphis 10, my hometown, on a lockdown right now, on a lockdown. So in essence of that, I'm gonna bump this new Hold Me Down. Seem like Memphis being held down. Look like I'm gonna bump this Hold Me Down by the homie Trackman featuring Project Pat and Fiend, and then we gonna get back into it right here on the Johnny Mac Show podcast. Let's go.
I'm just trying to stuff paper in my pocket like a school locker. I'm just trying to run a play and dodge a blocker. It could be a hater, dog, or maybe a car, but I get the ups on you like a record deal. I drop you straight pop you. I'm busting if my life in danger. Extendo clip got 30 hitters coming through the chamber. I'm just getting to the money, getting to the bread. Your girlfriend looking crazy cause I burn her head like a cigarette. I don't indulge in bullshit. Talk money like Creflo Dollar. I just ain't in the pulpit. Falling like KD, legend like Dr. J. Blowing gas with my knees. We shoot the shit and
They
shoot
all call
the
me up when it's crunch time.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck with me tough when I touchdown. Hey. I kept that bass in the pipeline. I conquered shit in my lifetime. I kept my head above water. Although niggas, they was pushing me down, but they can never hold me down, 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 down. They can never hold me down. No. And you was finna let me drown, 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 drown. So I don't wanna hear this sound. No. I live my life through the wire. Threw them off with these punchlines. You probably wouldn't even believe me. I did it all on one lifeline. They can never pull me down. Woo. They can never pull me down.
Yo, check me out, track. Hey, my band-aid disappear like magic. What is this wizardry? Took cocaine, was turned to crack. Had no concern for chemistry. Pray the Lord don't forgive me. Trap my brain to deliver it. My every win to a misery. You reach the short, can't get the middle. Time for the totem pole like snow patrol. Yeah, I try to sell him blow like I know his nose. You missed a little homie there smoking cold and wanna hear the go. Head busted on treasure. Probably work for undercovers. Pop will put up in the bubble. Run first side of trouble. You act like mama never loved you. Abracadabra.
Cashing my mattress up.
I was a trafficker.
A pistol was passenger.
First you see it, now you don't. Money will be after, son. Fuck that government shutdown. About to go and buy me a bus now. Ball for breakfast, it's lunch now. I came for the win, baby.
They all
go
call me
down.
up when it's crunch time.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck with me tough when I touchdown. Hey. I kept that bass in the pipeline. I conquered shit in my lifetime. I kept my head above water. Although niggas, they was pushing me down, but they can never hold me down, 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 down. They can never hold me down. No. And you was finna let me drown, 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 drown. So I don't wanna hear this sound. No. I live my life through the wire. Threw them off with these punchlines. You probably wouldn't even believe me. I did it all on one lifeline. They can never pull me down. Woo. They can never pull me down. Hey.
Ranger, one up in the chamber. Yeah. Yeah, that's that new joint, man. That's the new Trackman, man. Y'all need to check him out. His website is trackmanforever.com. You can look him up on Facebook under Trackman, Trackman. And that song is featuring the hometown hero, Project Pat, and also featuring Fiend. What? Yeah. Alright, so let's get to talking some stuff here, man. Let's get to talking about some stuff, man. All right, so what I don't know if y'all seen it, but it threw me off. I just took a look at this looting that's happened in Mexico, because at first I thought it was fake, because it's a lot of those things that pop up on Facebook and they be like from 2 years ago or 6 years ago or something like that. So I saw that and I really saw a couple of people sharing it, but even then I just was thinking, maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is just another one of them. So then I kept seeing it and kept seeing it. I said, well, let me Google it and see what pulls up. So I pulled up Mexico looting. Before I even put in the other, I put in LOO. I put Mexico looting. I put in LOO. Before I even put the T, it already had looting in Mexico was one of the first searches I could put. So I clicked it. And so then I got this thing here. This one, I watched that video, by the way. I did watch the video. The video was almost like, I don't know, it almost looked like it was about 8 hours long. I caught like about 15 minutes. So it looked like it was at the end, whenever I caught it, because somebody on my Facebook page shared it as a watch party or something like that. And I had hopped in at the last minute when I found it was legit. And I'm going to get to the point why I'm bringing this up in a second. So just follow the flow. So I'm watching this shit. And I'm seeing this, and man, you seeing, man, people running in, they grabbing shit. It looked like a big ass, like a big Walmart super center type of place. And you just seeing people running out of there with stuff. I'm seeing even women with babies, and the babies got shit. They grabbing toys, everything. At the end, you see I guess the troops finally come. You see the army, but even when they came, you seen people still. People walking out. And I guess this was one of the owners or something. I seen him standing there kind of holding up a camera. And I don't know who was holding this other camera that I saw it on, because it was up for 8 hours. Or I don't know if that was a store camera, because it looked like it was moving around a little bit. Scary sight. I'm going to just run into the article real quick just so that it'll make sense. It'll make sense real quick. So I found this now this is their news site, the MexicoNewsDaily.com. It says a store in Mexico State was targeted by looters Monday. A gang of 70 loot Mexico State supermarket. And I'm going to go all the way through it. I just want to slide through it. And this was published March 24th, 2020. Says alarm caused by the COVID-19 pandemic is creating security problems in Mexico State, where a gang of 70 people looted a grocery store in the municipality of Tecamac. I don't want to mess up the Tecamac on Monday night. Dozens of men and women rushed the bodega, and it was men, women, kids. It was a lot of people. They rushed the Bodega Aura Express supermarket and ransacked the shelves and displays, leaving them bare in the wake. And when I say leave them bare, they left everything. It was ridiculous. I don't know what that, and it says it was a video shared on social media by a neighbor. Okay, that's what it was. A neighbor of the store showed the empty shelves and the random products scattered on the floor. And it was stuff everywhere. Outnumbering employees and security personnel was the looters, who took food, alcohol, and even money. Some employers reported to have even made off with some products that were taken off by the looters. Municipal and state police arrived on the scene minutes after the looters left. One of the officers was reported to have chided onlookers for having not tried to do nothing, saying that it was their responsibility as citizens to do so. Yeah, but they're not going to get a piece of that check when it come through that dock. So I ain't getting in that if I ain't getting a piece of the money. I'm not finna, I could stand and watch it, I guess. I guess that's how they seeing. And it said the cause for the widespread looting, this is why I was bringing this whole thing up. The cause for the widespread looting in Mexico State have been making its rounds on social media the last few days. Various Facebook groups with the names like COVID-19 looting and Looting 2020 have been promoting the idea of mass pillaging events and impeding because of the claims of the food, the food shortages. So people are panicking. So what they're saying is they're panicking. They're panicking. And like I said, it's everybody. And they plan on keep on doing this. These groups are on Facebook. And that's where it started. Because, see, when I did the research, I saw the article that showed a couple of days before that people had been threatening to do what they ended up doing. And they ended up doing it. And they recorded it. And it was pretty bad. And all I'm saying is, if you think that is bad, And I wish that some of those people we call politicians that go supposed to go speak for us, that wear the real nice suits and make the good checks and all of that. I wanted some of them to see it so that they can see what they bullshit or their slow poking it can turn into. Because these people, if that was Mexico, and these people were, because they running out of food, and I guess they trucks done stopped coming, and it's shortages, running around out there, and they're thinking that they're gonna be out forever, and this and this and that. Well, what do you think is gonna happen in America? You don't think we badder than them? You don't think that we would end up? And y'all gotta pardon me in the background. We at the house, so. But you don't think that in the baddest country it is, America, the number one country, you don't think that if the trucks stop coming, the food stop coming, these niggas are stealing and they're fighting over toilet paper. You see what they're doing with toilet paper, and ain't nobody told them that the toilet paper wasn't gone. They just said, hey, it's out. Give us a second to restock, and they fighting over that. You tell them folks, and you're looking at the stores right now, like a lot of the stores, I got a lot of people on, my different social medias and Twitters and so forth. They go to the grocery store and they're filming what they seeing on the inside, and these places are bare. These places have no meat. These places have no, none of the, a lot of them don't have none of the essentials. And then when I read some of the comments, because I like to do, I like to go through and read the comments on a lot of these different things or whatever, and they'll tell you some truth in them comments. And a lot of people were saying, even in a lot of them different comments I was reading and watching on stories and stuff, I was watching people, who shopping with no, and not having nothing and this and this and it's that some people are hoarding the stuff, hoarding the shit. And, at some point, and it shouts out to Amazon, because Amazon is actually yeah, man. Shouts out to Amazon, because see, Amazon is actually where was I finna go with that? Yeah, shouts out to Amazon, because Amazon is actually putting a lockdown on people hoarding products. It started with the sanitizer. I'm sure y'all seen the guy had all the different sanitizers and all of that. He bought him and his brother bought $17,000 worth of sanitizer and cleaning products and all of that, and bought it up. Yeah, well, in order for them not to go to jail, them niggas ended up giving that shit away. And talking about, yeah, we gave it away because it was a good cause. Nah, you niggas were told there was consequences if you didn't. So yeah, and you look like an ass. And it just go to show, and that's what I'm saying. That's the society that we're dealing with right now. America itself is gonna kill America. The beast is within the people of America. I mean, you should see it. These people are literally, like I said, you're fighting, you're rude, you're cussing, you're spitting on one another. You knocked the old man out his chair at the Sam's. I think that was in Memphis or wherever that was at. You knocked another. The two people got to fighting. The two women got to fighting over the toilet paper. Like all of this stuff. The one fight they broke out and they had the little girl and all that. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, and it's not gonna get any better if all I can just say is my fear is if we ever run out of the food. And I've been saying that, and I've even said this way before any of this even happened. I used to say this even during the hurricanes and everything. I'd say, like, man, the worst thing that can end up happening during these the hurricanes and stuff like that is that we run out of food, right? Well, the crazy part is, yeah, that would be bad. But now if we ran out of food, if we ended up running out of food in the middle of the hurricane, the thing about it, in a hurricane, you'd have like all of the people that are there, around the world that witness it, and they'll end up helping out. Kind of like, I mean, I guess they'll help out. At least you got a chance with that. You don't really have a chance with anything right now, because the whole world going through a problem. See, it's all right if we all in the neighborhood and the Miss Johnson house get broke into, all the neighbors go around and say, man, let's all on payday, man, let's all put in $100 and see if we can, man, put something together for Miss Johnson, get her back on her feet since her house got broken into. Her, she had a house fire, whatever it is. You could kind of do some shit like that, but you can't really you can't really do it, the other way. You know what I mean? You can't because how can I put that? So I don't know. I don't know. I just constantly losing my train of thought. What else I got down here that I want to talk about too before I jump all the way off. So yeah, with and just to close that out, just they're playing on the hill. I hope they get this package passed. Not for myself in particular, but just for Americans in general to get the economy, get to keep the economy going and keep people home for a minute. The other thing I got questions about, now what do you think, or what do any of y'all think, in regards to Trump, you know, uh, it in regards to not Trump, but DeSantis and him really not shutting down, Florida. Like him as a governor, him as a governor, continuing to let this thing spread. So like he had the ability to where he could cut off all the travel. I would have cut if this were me, if I was the governor of Florida and we were faced with this pandemic, us being the third largest state in the country, and we usually should follow suit with California and New York because especially New York and Florida are going to have the same people. We knew this. These things should be thought about already. How is there not a plan for the greatest country in the world that when we have a pandemic and we already know that we have a bunch of residents that are snowbirds that live in Vermont and New Yorks and so forth that live up there but have homes in Florida as well, and they come down here when in the wintertime. I mean, why wouldn't you check that? Who was in charge of that? Like, how is that not a plan? How are we just now thinking of that? Oh man, the people in New York having to think. Oh man, now this thing just seems real unprepared and unorganized and very, very tacky. At least on the Florida part. Like I said, they say word around the campfires. I guess everybody heard that message that the whoever the girl was that said, this and that was going to happen and we going on a full quarantine and blah, 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 blah. Well, I guess they saying she let the cat out the bag. Her letting the cat out the bag made it to where the government, I guess, was trying to play like, well, you know what? We're going to say we didn't say that. You see what I'm saying? Now, these are just rumors. I don't know. I'm not in the government or nothing. But, these just rumors. But I'm just saying it kind of seemed like that because right after we heard that, we started seeing all the shutdowns. The little shutdown. Every city shutting down, shutting down, shutting down, shutting down. City by city, which it seemed like it's a little bit tackier that way. I mean, some people got it together. It looked like San Francisco, California, I guess kind of figuring it out. Look like New York kind of figuring it out, but don't look like they getting the assistance that they needed. You know, so it looked like some of the states, but I just almost think United States. I've never figured out why we're called the United States of America. The reason I say that is because what's united? What's united? Everything we do is separate. We legalize, even let's say legalize marijuana. Well, how is it legal in California and legal in Colorado and legal in Las Vegas? But then if that same person, if he was to drive to Tennessee or he was to drive to Mississippi or something, he'll get a felony charge. Like what? How is this the United States of America? And when something like this happened, how we're not united to where we can say, look, we having a lockdown. We're locking the whole thing down. We're not gonna lock down just California. We're gonna uniform this thing and get this thing over with uniformly. We're not gonna get showed out by all the bigger countries and our rivals and all that. We getting showed out by the world right now. Constantly getting showed out by the world. And then what makes it weird too is what's going on with the guy that's always out there with, when Trump and them are out there, I can't think of his name, the guy over the CDC or whatever. Look like they not having an agreement on this thing because your boy Trump, he wants to open. I think that's what I had lost train of thought. He wants to open back up the country back up, and he's talking about opening the country back up Easter, and and that sounds good. That sounds great. But then when you look at the numbers, you look at the reality of this thing, and you look at the fact that none of our kids ain't even in, they're not in school or nothing. All these people, and I get it. Let's get back to work, but can we? Because if it's just that easy, because at first it's just going to take months. It's going to be this. It's the most deadliest, this and that. And then now it's like, well, we'll be back by, everything will be back to normal about Easter. But the guys from the CDC and other places are saying, the scientific data is saying, no, it's impossible. It's impossible. But Trump, he keep a lot of fans with him. And I don't really got nothing against him like I used to. I think he does. Any of them presidents have to do and they push within what they can do and so forth. He's got his faults, but other presidents do too. I can't just and I'm like this when it comes to the whole political thing. At one point I was just, I'm a Democrat, because that's how I was raised. It's what I grew up on. But as time come to play and as I start seeing this thing and putting everything together, I realize, like in everything else, you got to have some kind of order. And you need a little bit of everything. I'm conservative about a lot of things. Once I sat down and I thought this thing out, and I got a lot of things I don't like that the conservatives do and say and how they act, right? Same thing with Democrats. I got a lot of things that, the Democrats or the liberals or whatever you want to call them, just okay. And even, okay, because I feel like, to have a balanced life, you have to have capitalism and socialism. I feel like you can't just have capitalism. You can't just have socialism because this epidemic just showed us that you got to have a balance of both, but it's got to be a balance. Can't have too much socialism because everything ain't free. Kids need to go. People need to go to work. We need to make this thing pump if it can pump. That's the capitalist. That's the capitalism side. You need to go make money. Just make as much as you can. You need to open up businesses. Open up businesses. Hire your friends. Hire your kids and your family. Hey, your kids. Open up businesses. As many businesses as you guys can. That's a great thing. And capitalize. Yes. And if that's conservative, if that's being a conservative, yes, count me in. Right now. And they're about the protection and the guns, and I'm about that. I feel like you should be able to protect yourself. What kind of guns and all of that? They can get deep, and I'm not gonna go there. That's a whole nother show there. But I think it's too much. Yeah, be able to have guns. But then I think the socialism, you need it too. Universal health care is not a bad thing. That's not a bad word. And I don't know how in the hell in America we got to the place where we able to make that a bad word. And hold on 1 minute. Let me see something here. And, and see, I don't know how we got to make that a bad word, socialism. Now, there's certain things in socialism you can use. You can use you don't want to turn into a Venezuela, right? You want choices. You want to be, but when it comes to things like medicine, I think that should be a social, that's a social thing. Like Social Security and our Social Security program. I think that's pretty decent. Food stamp program, I think we need it. I actually think we really need it, and I think that we should be pouring more of the food into more into the working class. I think that that's where the biggest misconception of this thing is. Like we've always been wondering, like people always, the biggest thing has always been, well, how can I, how come people who don't have no job can go get food stamps, and people that do have a job and do make money, they don't qualify for it because they make money? That is backwards. That's ass backwards. The people that work should be rewarded for working. Now, you still should be eligible for food stamps, just not as much as somebody who's working. That's my opinion. I don't think somebody who's not working should be able to get $400-$500 worth of food stamps, and they getting steak and lobster and they eating good, and the working man, he or she barely is getting. They're eating oodles and noodles, but yet they're pumping money into this economy to make this thing go. So I would think, if it was me, that if you're working, yes, you automatically qualify for some food stamps because you're putting directly into the pot. Your verification that you're putting into the pot is in there, and you may not even need a whole lot. That's the thing. They may not even need a lot. The ones that work and like to work, they may not even need a whole lot. They may need only $100 or $200. Anything to help them cover some food because everything else so high. I don't think that that's a bad problem. I don't think I'm a socialist because I think that because of the way it is. Because the truth be told, I don't think God intended for us to have the food packaged up and sold. Honestly, I think when the first tree was planted, you think that at the Garden of Eden, the tree, you think that tree, you think that the forbidden fruit, you think Eve had to pay for her to take that fruit and go bite that fruit, or did she just pull that fruit off the tree and take the bite? For my Bible heads out there, that's what I'm saying. See, that's what I'm saying. So, like, the fruit was already here, the trees, and it was already stuff that was put here for us to eat. That's how come when you eat, and you eat a seed, let's say you eat a apple, and an apple got a seed in it. Well, you eat the apple. The seed, let's say if you accidentally swallow one of the seeds or something, well, you poop it out or something, or whatever. Well, I'm not trying to be, nasty or anything, but your bowels, that's fertilizer, right? Well, if you did that, then you're going to grow an apple tree. Eat that seed, poop it out, you'll grow an apple tree. And it'll keep recreating, next person come eat it, so forth. It's just a lot. That's a lot. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna take another quick break real quick and get some stuff going here. I got some stuff going on in the background. So let me do this here. I'm gonna play my homie Seven the Great. This is one of his singles. Let's see, it's called Hello. So I'm gonna play this new Hello from Seven the Great. You listening to the Johnny Mac Show podcast quarantine edition, and I'll get right back with you after this from Seven. Let's go.
Chief Beats.
Cocaine white, dance in the air, propane night. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites.
Cocaine white, gas in the air, propane nights. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites. Hello.
Can I get another hater?
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 They said I couldn't have to prove them wrong. write another letter. Cocaine white, gas in the air, propane nights. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites. Hello, can I get another hater? 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 Get some stretches for them pussy niggas. I change directions on the pussy niggas. I get my cheddar, ain't no doubt about it. Stay strapped with them yokes, I can't do without it. Piece by piece, money standing on bricks. Hoes don't talk, don't know about shit. Bitches gon' walk to the end of the line. I'ma make bullets hit the end of your spine. Hit it to the end of the motherfucking road. Nigga talk shit, that's a motherfucking hoe. Call it out, hit a tight motherfucking soul. Got a real bitch, 24 years old. Bro, my neck be icy. Got a lot of haters wanna be just like me. Sliding on leather, red drink is my iced tea. Knocking niggas hoes, pussy niggas wanna fight me. Shots. Cocaine white, gas in the air, propane nights. Never lacking, so I'm doing alright. Jealous niggas motivate me like kites. Hello, can I get another hater? Hello, can I get another hater? Hello, can I get another hater? Hello, can I get another hater?
Yeah, man. That's the homie 7. That was from his album, I think that was Lane Dodging. So check out my homie 7 the Great. 7 the Great out of Memphis 10. Need to check on my homie and see if he on the lockdown down there too, man. They tripping out here. But yeah. Alright, so yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to yours truly here at Johnny Mac on the Johnny Mac Show podcast quarantine edition. Man, check this out. And so this coronavirus thing is going crazy. Like, it's already crazy. It's hard to, see if you're going to be able to keep your job. It's going to, hard to see. So, what's next, And the worst thing you worry about is the kids. You're right. The kids. You worried about how to take care of them, how to feed them, if you're going to have your job, if you're not going to have your job, or let alone, let's say if you keep your job, well, who going to watch the kids while you go to work, or the baby, or whatever you got going on, right? So that's always a thing. And now that's done popped up. On top of that, on top of that now most of us are finna do the real. We finna turn into teachers. We finna homeschool. Now, granted, everywhere I read, even at my daughter's school and other people I talked to who kids at school and got, and they schools trying to, especially here in Florida, most of the schools in Florida are trying we're one of the first states that are really trying to do the distance learning. I guess that's the word for it now. The distance learning. So we're trying, Florida's one of the first states that's doing the distance learning. And with that being said, it's a lot of stress on a lot of different parents. Now, my situation ain't really stressful. Half of it, me and my kid we do it anyway. And it's, and it's always just kind of work like that. But I'm just saying, like, think about parents who've got, let's say 3-4 babies in the house. Somebody a teenager, then you got a teenager. He don't want to do it. You mama or daddy or something. He think then you got the, say you got a middle one and then let's say a baby. So that's 3 different kids you got. What time are you supposed to do it? How are you supposed to do it? Now all of a sudden you done became a K through 12 teacher. You went all the way from being working at Walmart to you a K through 12 teacher now, right? Excuse me. So yeah, but you just look at it and say, you're gonna do the best for your kid, and that's that's definitely the end of it. Find ways to make it fun. Find ways to make it fun. Things that you want to teach them, because people always complain, and I think I said this on my last show. We always complaining about what we want to teach our kids and what we want them to learn, and they don't learn enough, or they don't never know nothing when we ask them stuff. Now is the time we can instill. Take this little time, whether it's going to be till about April 30th or April or Easter or whenever we gonna go. Stuff gonna get back in, or if it's gonna be 2 years from now. We're hearing all kind of stuff. It's all over the place. Presidents say Easter. Everybody else in the world say it's gonna be, maybe a year, maybe 6 months. Who knows? Um, but even still, um, even with that being said, you know, you just do the best you can, and we're doing the best you can, and you just make it fun. Like I said, if your kids, like, let's say if a lot of parents, you probably not into their favorite, learn about them, find out what they like to do, and then that way you can have them writing reports and Googling shit. And like I said, you don't have to spend 8 hours a day. That's teachers, that's a school, that's a system. You not that. All you got to do is just take an hour to maybe two and have them write and research stuff. You may say, okay, well, I'm going to give them like a couple of math problems or some math stuff I want them to work on. Okay, right here, I'm going to give them some stuff, some writing to do, because I want them to work on writing or whatever. This right here, I'm going to make them read and write me something about what he read or whatever. And that be it, and that may take an hour, 30 minutes or something out the day. Even if you got a bunch of kids, like I said, you just figure out, whatever. And and like I said, there's a bunch of different resources, YouTubes and all kind of stuff. You can even Google this, all kind of workbooks, worksheets, all kind of crap online that you can find a way to do it. Hardest part is, having a computer and, even being able to, some people can't print the stuff out and can't get to the library. I mean, I get it, but there is things that you can do, and there's ways that the learning can continue. And whatever school supplies they got, I'm sure they should have a pen and a paper. Get a pen and paper, and you can have them write stuff. You can even watch a movie with them, and then have them do a report about whatever the movie is. Like, especially if it's one of those documentaries or something, a Jackie Robinson or something like that. Watch the movie 45, and then have them write a report of the movie 45. Or something like that, and then just whatever. You just be creative with it. It's you. This is your kids. You know what I'm saying? Now it ain't the government. It ain't on the government to raise them. You can raise them, and I mean, it's just whatever you can do to get through this. And again, right now, it ain't even the time to stress yourself on that, because some parents are going crazy. Like, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Like I tell them, like, don't even stress nothing right now. Last thing the kid needs is for you to stress. Now, after about another week of this, though, another couple of days of this, I mean, I would think at some point you may have, because at some point you should be done molded into whatever's going on. You should be done molded into whatever that is that's going on, and that's holding you down and that's holding you back. You should be done molded into it and figured out a way to attack it and a way to change it, and a way to make the improvement and to put the improvement in there. You should definitely be able to do that. Let me see here. I ain't gonna be in here too much longer. Oh, now this story here is this out of Kathleen, Georgia. Now this happened yesterday, March 23rd. This was in Kathleen, Georgia. It was a company, the company Purdue. It says the Purdue plant in Kathleen was a little emptier Monday after about 50 employees walked out. They walked out because they said they don't feel safe. Okay. Yeah, it said that they walked out because they said that they don't feel safe working around people who have potentially been exposed to the coronavirus. And they want the plant to do more to protect their employees. And again, this kind of goes back into what I'm saying, playing with the peasants. Everybody playing with the peasants. So these people at this job, it says, because the job says that they were asking them. She said that she said nope, we're not getting nothing, no type of compensation, no nothing, not even no cleanliness, no extra pay, no nothing. We're up here risking our lives for some chicken," said the employee. Um, she said people are still working on the production line and they have been exposed to the coronavirus. Granville said that her supervisors are telling them that they are sanitizing the building every night. But when she comes every morning, there's food on the floor from the night before, and the bathrooms are filthy, which shows you nobody's clean. You know how it is. Don't nobody look out. Third shift don't never look out. Third shift is gonna, they be getting up out of there. And she said, all we're doing is just looking for somebody to sanitize the building. Sanitize the building. Everybody that's been exposed to it need to go home, and these folks are still on the floor. Like that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is getting out of control. It's getting out of control. It's getting out of control, and I don't see how the first word in the United States of America is united. I mean, unless we want to change the name and we can say the United Mistakes of America. Um, but yeah, going back, and like I said, I'm not a my podcast is not like a political podcast. My podcast is really more street. I just don't have all my sound effects on it and stuff right now. I had them loaded up on the next show. I think I'm gonna do another one tomorrow. Um, I had them loaded up, so it'll be a little bit different than this. But still, you know, just watching them today, and like I said, I'm not a politician, but watching them people today, watching how they're just, stringing the people along. We want this, or we want that. Well, we're not going to do this, and it's like nobody has an urgency for. Now, here's the thing. So what I got out of it, and it's just what I got out of it, because I read the bill Mitch McConnell tried to pass, and I read Nancy Pelosi's rejection, or I guess she drafted another one, a different one or something. Um, the one what the Republicans are saying, I kind of see it, and I'm kind of like, like other people, like, hey, let's go ahead and just, let's just do it. Like, what are we waiting on? Like, let's go ahead and just get this thing pumping. Let's pump this stuff in there, and we'll figure it out. And I think it's $1,200 per person or whatever, per adult, and then $500 per child or something like that. Something small. It's not a lot of money, but it'll help, because it's not supposed to be forever. It's just a thing it's just a stimulant, just something to stimulate something just to kick it off and get it going. Um, and it looked like it was okay, and there was a lot of big breaks for the companies, which I get that too, because you want the companies to do well because the companies employ the people. The only problem with that is you don't never know how them companies are going to do them people. They supposed to do them a certain way, but history has shown us that they don't, and I get that too. I can get that too. My only thing is I just feel like you guys are professionals. And I don't see, and it seemed like even when they started reading out the bill, even on the Democrat side, it was, Nancy Pelosi had snuck in, they had snuck in a whole bunch of weird shit that had nothing to do with a virus, nothing to do with the help of getting help to people with the virus. This was shit that agendas that had been tried to be passed in the, in the past. I was trying to avoid from saying past, but an agenda that had been done in the past, and that she tried to pass and it didn't go. It didn't make it, and it was that's kind of selfish for you to slam that and stuff all of this extra stuff in there. Amid, Nancy, her family eating. Her nieces, her nephews, her kids, her family, they eating. They good. Chuck Schumer, them folks eating. They good. Mitch McConnell, all them folks eat. All of these different, whatever, I don't care, red and blue. Y'all left wing, right wing, me, I'm like, fuck the bird. But I'm just saying it's real petty, and this thing is still everlasting, but it's being held up by people who can go home and have a big ass steak. They got plenty of toilet tissue in their house. You know what I'm saying? They got plenty of Clorox wipes and shit. They ain't worried about no fucking hand sanitizer. They got the you know what I'm saying? These people got cheese. Most of them congressmen and shit like that, they make a little bit of bread. They make way too much money to be sitting around and playing at a time like this. This is do or fucking die. And there's people already fucking dying. There's people already fucking dying. And it's do or die. And we still can't come up with an agreement. Because either side, the Republicans don't want to give enough. And the Democrats want to take too fucking much. I said it. I said it. Republicans don't want to give enough, which I ain't mad at them though. I understand they conservative and it ain't even that they ain't giving enough. I think that's enough to stimulate something. They're saying, hey, we can come and we can, put this out, whatever, and we can come back to the table and talk again. I mean, this is a dire situation. But to come back and then to throw shit in there about, I don't know. She has some like air travel thing and green gas. I'm not a politician. It was just all kind of shit that didn't have nothing to do with the people that's suffering from the fucking virus. The people that's suffering from the virus, they at home depressed, trying not to kill themselves. They got their kids, jumping all around, and they trying to figure out where they gonna go, what they gonna do, what they gonna eat, or how long they gonna eat. What can they do? How is this mortgage going to get paid? It is about to be the first of the month again. Most Americans don't have no savings plan because it's hard as fuck to save in America if you one of the peasants. And what does everybody like to do in America? Everybody plays with the peasants. Nobody likes the peasants. They play with us. What it is, what it is. But everybody has problems with the peasants. Everybody. Nobody likes the peasants, right? Nobody likes the peasants. But it's more peasants than it is anywhere else. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy shit, right? So, depending on how all of this go, depending on how all of this fall, hoping that what happened in Mexico does not happen in America because it is getting there. I don't know if y'all paid attention to the stores. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but I know y'all paid attention. You've seen what the toilet paper thing been like. Imagine if the food ain't coming no more. Imagine if it's going to be, and the thing in Mexico that happened, I think, and they've still threatening to do more, and I believe they'll do more, but I think America will get down even dirtier. I'm almost sure of it. I'm sure that we'll get even dirtier because people are almost panicking now. Everywhere you go, people on panic. People on high alert right now. Anybody that, everybody, people that, and here's the thing that did it. See, most people, they can blow this stuff off. We usually can ignore it because we do usually have the sports games and, like even during 9/11, we still had the games and stuff going on. We still had the, the music and the this and the that. Everything was still just kind of going on. With this, it's almost been to a halt, except for children, which that's good because children need they. But even with them, some of them, I know they're missing their friends. It's starting to get different. Everybody's starting to worry now. That first little spring break, that's cool. You get another week after spring break, that's kind of cool. You could do 2 weeks. You do 2 weeks in Christmas time. So it's like, oh, Christmas time. Now, and it's hot outside. Now they trying to, everybody, you can't go nowhere. You can't really do nothing. Nothing is on. Nothing's on TV. Nothing. So you're seeing nothing but, again, I was sitting there watching I be watching the damn, watching them Democrats and Republicans fight like it's a sports game and shit. I'm like, ooh, man, Nancy dropped the ball on that one. She need to pick it up. Oh, man, look at Mitch. Oh, Mitch, he turned around and spent it. He got blocked. Like, it's That's where it's done got to. But I just say all that to say, man, I just hope that everybody enjoying themselves out there. Listening to the podcast and getting through these hard times because we are faced with some pretty true hard times. But the thing is, like I say, find something to do. Whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, you're able to relax a little bit. You can, anything you've been wanting to do, you want to research. If you've been thinking about starting a business or whatever, I know you're stressing. I know you got a lot of other things, but this is the time that's going to help you think your way out of the situation. A lot of the places are being real lenient with the rents and the mortgages. Now they're not doing them forever, so don't fall for that. If you can pay it, pay it. But whatever you can pay or can't pay or whatever, go ahead and start coming up with a plan, knowing that you're finna have to pay it in the next 30, 60 days or whatever. But go ahead and start putting you together a plan toward whatever it is that you want to do. If you've been thinking, man, I want to cut hair, start looking it up. Because I don't think we're finna be doing this forever. If you wanted to, whatever, you want to open your business doing this, you want to be whatever it is that you want to do, this is the time to go ahead and do it. This is the time to go ahead and at least research it. This is the time to get the rest that you need. That's the biggest problem with America. A lot of us, we just don't get rest. I mean, I know it sucks. You ain't got no job, whatever, but go ahead and get a little extra snooze in or whatever. It's all right. Maybe that'll help you and help your brain spark that thing that you see that you want to do, or that business, or even that job that you think that you qualify for that you never thought about, or something that you've done in the past that you think, just whatever it is. Just explore all options, explore all angles, and and we will get through all of this together. We'll definitely get through this together. This is, every setback ain't nothing but a push forward on the other side, So with that being that, man, I am gonna fall up out of here. This again, I'm thinking I may do another one tomorrow. I think I got a little time tomorrow. I don't know, maybe I tried to go live earlier with this same show, and I was having trouble with the equipment and this and that, and trying to go live or whatever, and so I just took it like maybe God wasn't ready for me to say whatever I was gonna say. But anyway, people, it's been a pleasure. It's been It's been fun, and we've done it again. And let me think. Was it anything else? I'm trying to think. I think I had some. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. So I'm gonna get on up out of here, everybody, and get on in this bed, crash on out, and go to sleep and see what else is gonna happen and gonna be there for us tomorrow. And I'm gonna leave y'all off with my little cousin, Mr. Maine. He out of Memphis, Tennessee. Another one that's probably down on lockdown right now. I'm gonna leave us off with one of his songs he got. It's called Dead Dreams, and I will check with y'all possibly tomorrow, if not day after that, something like that. It'll be going on, and and don't forget to pray. Don't forget to pray. And it is what it is. And we're gonna ride out with this Mr. Man, and that's it. This your boy, Johnny Mac.
When I lay my head down at night, I'm bumping Biggie. It was all a dream. Will I ever see my face on the front of the magazine? Or penny at up on stage in front of thousands of fans? Why they screaming, go mister, go get him, man. Now that I got him, I told them ain't nobody coming after me, so hold your peace. I'm married to the gangster, ain't nobody taking me out the streets. They still trying to plot on me and create beef. Ain't nothing new up under the sun, so that's how I be. My name up on Billboard, top of the charts, I still hold. My dreams came to reality, but everything I've been living for. All of a sudden the curtains closed, nothing but darkness enclosed. Niggas coming out with masks on, gun drawn and blast on. I'm moving around the bed, I'm shaking, I'm nervous, I'm trembling. My babe, she wanna know what you got up in me. Trying to wake me up, it's like fighting with bees. Finally wake me up and Lord
I asleep or really is it just a damn dream? I pinch myself to see if I'm awaking up what it seems. But my nightmares keep seeming to taking over the scene. Got me looking and wondering who is coming for me. Am I asleep or really is it just a damn dream? I pinch myself to see if I'm awaking up what it seems. But my nightmares keep seeming to taking over the scene. Got me looking and wondering who is coming for me. I wake up to the baddest bitch that's off up in my bed. How I do that? She asking me, am I okay? I'm like, I'm about to bounce back. It's like we on a different vibe. We can survive the weather. When we drop the top and cruise the streets, we glide together. See, Bay is fine. She on another level with me. So I'm thinking that we can make some history. But things change just like seasons off in the weather. She want to know when I'm getting together. Pulled up to a red light and what do I see? A nigga right beside me bumping Mr. Mike track 3. I'm thinking off up in my head that this just really can't be. My bae all out the window grinning and slickering. Now look at me, I feel stupid. Now my heart is turning black and everything around me is too. I'm sweating in my sleep. I wake up, take a shower, now I'm kicking it on the block at 3. Am I asleep or really is it just a damn dream? I pinch myself to see if I'm awaking up what it seems. But my nightmares keep seeming to taking over the scene. Got me looking and wondering who is coming for me. Am I asleep or really is it just a damn dream? I pinch myself to see if I'm awaking up what it seems. But my nightmares keep seeming to taking over the scene. Got me looking and wondering who is coming for me. Everybody on the block chilling, having good time. No police harassing us, so we feeling real fine. Ain't nothing but barbecue and doja smoking the air. Music blasting, people smiling, it's a family affair. Oh shit, here we go with this whole bullshit. Some nigga done got too drunk and he can't handle his lip. So he start to pop off and reaching for stick. Now niggas is shooting like it ain't no kids in the mix. I knew it was too good to be true. Off in my hood, it ain't smooth. On any given Sunday, your family be singing the blue. Now I'm looking at the barrel of this loaded Glock now. I pull too many cars off the deck. I guess it's my time. I close my eyes for the tear. I let go all of the fear. Looking for my family, but it seems like they all disappeared. Then I turn back around. It's a man with a crown. Said it's your time in your place. Here's the throne and a weight down. Am I asleep or really is it just a damn dream? I pinch myself to see if I'm awaking up what it seems. But my nightmares keep seeming to taking over the scene. Got me looking and wondering who is coming for me.